Hello. The super fun thing that happened where my PC says no, too much AIDS and turns off. Just go ahead and get all this set up again. Alright. Think maybe we're okay. Maybe. Ugh. Garbage. Bad video game. Oh boy. Who knows if we're gonna get in? still alive. That's good. We did better than last time. Oh, right. I was trying to make this fit. Throw that away and that away. Put that in there and that there. Put this over here and that there. We don't need to chaos. Alright, let's see what this guy says to do.
Personally, I like to have. I use my control for vaulting, but the rest of these here, completely personal preference. Automatic RAM cleaner, it does work in the game. Every single time you press escape when you have this enabled, it kind of clears your RAM, but it...
I was always told to turn that off. Alright, I'll turn it on.
It also gives you a little bit of a stutter when you go into the menu. And honestly, since I have 32 gigabytes of VRAM and also have a RAM cleaner already running in the background, I personally have it off. If you have 16 gigabytes of RAM, then this is probably not a bad idea to keep on, but just remember, in order for it to work, you have to press escape in the game, and sometimes it freezes a little bit. And honestly, I think it depends on the speed of your RAM and just your PC in general. So if you have a lower end PC, having this on obviously helps clear the RAM, but that little initial stutter might be a little bit longer, and it does get a little bit annoying.
Really
Only use
often.
physical cores. I have not seen any performance hit or dip when using it or not using it. So once again, my personal preference here is to have it off because I just don't see any difference whatsoever. FOV does have a little bit of an impact on your frame rate. If you put it to 50, you obviously gain frames because you have less to render, but if you put it all the way up to 75, I lost about 5 to 6 frames. But also, sometimes the edges of the screen, like windows in the distance on the very edge of the screen on max FOV, it doesn't render properly. And also you have to remember that when you put the FOV to the highest, the targets on your screen become smaller. So the PMCs in CQB, in close quarters combat, they're a little bit harder to hit because they are smaller. So myself personally, I've been using 63 for years. It does come at a cost of like 3-4 frames, maybe tops, compared to 50. But I think it gives you the best experience in the game in terms of visuals, frame rate, and then the size of the targets, let's put it that way. Me personally, I've been using 63, and that's what I recommend the range for you as well. You can try 59, 65, but I wouldn't go with all the way up, and I definitely wouldn't go with all the way down. And head bobbing has no impact on your frame rate, but having it up obviously gives you a screen shake when you're sprinting. So turn that all the way down for the sake of visuals and being able to spot players, because if your screen is shaken, it's harder to spot enemies. Alright, and moving on to the graphics side of things, screen resolution should always be your monitor's native resolution. If you want to get more frames, do not lower your frame rate, just use either FSR or DLSS, and we'll talk about those specifically later. Aspect ratio, personal preference, I've been using 16:9 for years, but it's completely up to you.
Yeah,
Screen
we'll
mode,
go down with
when I was testing this between full screen and borderless, full screen actually gave me worse frame rate, but also my GPU usage went down by like 20%, so that's probably the reason. I didn't do any extensive testing on this because I always play borderless, and I recommend playing borderless, especially if you're using wiki a lot or you're using the maps on the internet and you alt tab a lot. Every single time you tap back into the game on full screen, it has like a 1 to 2 second delay, and I find it extremely annoying. Personal preference, my recommendation, go borderless if you alt tab a lot. And moving on to textures, as you can see in 1.0 we got the new ultra texture. The difference between low, medium,
who the
high
fuck uses
is
ultra?
fairly apparent. Obviously, as you can see, low looks kind of meh, medium looks better, and high obviously looks very good. I'll show you the difference between a high and ultra in a second, but anything above medium for me introduces a lot of lag spikes, unfortunately, and makes the game borderline unplayable on certain maps. For example, customs in firefights, my FPS drops from 100 plus to 60-70 when I'm on high. But when I switch my graphics to medium, that eliminated that for the most part. So unfortunately, I cannot recommend anything above medium at this moment. And if you have less than 8 gigabytes of VRAM, I highly recommend stick to low. Obviously, feel free to experiment, but if you experience a lot of frame drops, especially in firefights, then you know that that is the main cause of the issue. And since I cannot even recommend high, then ultra is definitely out of the question at the moment. Shadows has a fairly big impact on your performance, but also on the visual side of things, ultra obviously looks the best, but compared to low, it adds a lot of extra shadows and it makes the existing shadows bigger. So for the competitive side of things, I would highly recommend go to low, just because it will be easier to spot players in the shadows specifically, and also it's a very nice frame rate boost as well. If you do want to get a little bit better frames, you can go to medium, as the difference between low and medium was around 4 to 5 frames for me personally. But like I said, my recommendation is low. I've always used low myself, and I think that's the best option. And since we're on the topic of shadows, let's talk about grass shadows. Grass shadows makes the grass look a whole lot better regardless of which setting you're using, but the performance hit does depend on the setting up here. So if you set your shadow quality to low, turning on grass shadows, the FPS impact is like 1 to 3 frames per second. So it's fairly low. If you're using ultra, for example, just to compare the two ends of the spectrum, turning on grass shadows was around 5 to 6 frames impact. So for me personally, I've been using low and I haven't been using grass shadows, but if you want that little bit of an extra quality and that little bit of eye candy, I would recommend turn it on because the frame rate impact is fairly minimal. If you're already using the higher settings on the shadows, you might as well turn it on because you've already sacrificed a fair bit of frame rate for visual side of things, so you might as well go all in at that point. Object LOD quality has a fairly noticeable impact on both performance and visual side of things. The difference between Object LOD quality 2 and 4 is around 15 to 14 frames, but from my testing, I've always been using 2.5. I think that's the sweet spot. You don't really have any lines of sight where you need more than that. And if you compare 2 and 2.5, you can see some of the trash piles are visible just by using 2.5. So there's really no reason to go above this, in my opinion. And if you paid close attention, on top of the truck there is a backpack and a helmet. So the difference between 2 and 2.5 is whether that helmet on the truck there renders in or it doesn't render in. So my recommendation, keep it on 2.5 as it is the best option for rendering in player gear and the gear that's on the ground. And yes, it does affect the gear on the players as well. At the cost of 2 to 3 frames, you get much better visuals compared to 2. So my recommendation, 2.5 is the sweet spot, and it gets the job done, as you don't really have very long lines of sight where you need more than that. Moving on to overall visibility, this is one of those settings that you never want to have on 400 because it makes the game look terrible. As you can see here, some of the ground at a distance is not rendering in properly. This is eliminated at 1000 overall visibility, but if you increase it to 1500 or even 3000, you can see more stuff renders in. But from what I can see, anything above 1000 is more about rendering in landmarks, such as the skyline of Streets of Tarkov, or for example here on the Customs Bridge, you can see the cranes on shoreline. So for me personally, I like it on 1500 just because it makes it more immersive, and it doesn't really have a high FPS impact either. The difference between 400 and 1500 is like 3 frames, but also this varies from map to map. So my personal recommendation is, at the minimum, use 1000, never use 400, but the sweet spot for me is 1500, and anything above seems kind of pointless, and I've been using 1500 for years now. Clouds quality, I don't see any difference between low, medium and high in both frame rate or the quality of clouds, so it doesn't matter what you put it on. Since it doesn't have any impact, I just set it on low. You can put it on high and we will have the same results. The grand total of frame rate gained or lost is a big fat 0. So let's move on to anti-aliasing. And anti-aliasing can have a fair bit of an impact on your frame rate. Full disclosure though, I personally don't use anti-aliasing, as I'm using NVIDIA DLSS on quality, and it has a built-in anti-aliasing as well. And as you can see, it disables anti-aliasing altogether. But just for the sake of the video, let's go over it in case you don't want to use any of the upscalers. Obviously, off has the best FPS, but it looks absolutely terrible. As you can see, all the edges are very jagged, and the wire in the distance doesn't look too good. FXAA does make it a little bit better. It comes at a cost of like 5 frames, which is like 3%, but it doesn't look very good. It does make it look a little bit better. So if you're looking for a more budget option for in terms of frames, then FXAA is not a bad option. But myself personally, and moving on to NVIDIA DLSS, like I said before, I always have NVIDIA DLSS selected and I always use it on quality. The difference between balanced and performance is around 20 frames per second between each setting. So if I get around 230 on quality, on balanced I will get 250, on performance I will get 270 plus. But the visual degradation is very noticeable between each setting. So myself personally, I would always recommend quality. Unless you really need frames, I would not go below it. When it comes to presets, preset J and K are using the latest transformation-based model, which essentially gives you the best quality in terms of visuals. It does come at a cost of a little bit of frames, obviously, but from the visual standpoint, it also gives you the best result. The other presets are using the CNN model, which is the older model, but also, like I said, the visual side of things is worse. And comparing NVIDIA DLSS on quality between preset A and K, you get around 40 frame rate difference. But also preset A gives you a whole lot of ghosting in return as well. But my recommendation will always be preset K, and I think everyone else agrees with that as well. And if you don't have an RTX card, experience. HBAO has massive impact on your performance compared to off and colored ultra. Myself personally, I've always used max performance just to get that little bit more extra depth. As you can see, it adds shadows around objects. For example, you can look at the wheel of the forklift here. It makes it look a whole lot better if you go from off to max performance. And the FPS impact is around 13 frames or so. Preference, I think from the visual standpoint, if you want to get that competitive, I'm going to put it on max performance. Take that little bit of a performance hit, but some of the sides of cliffs, for example. Any texture that is not facing you straight on sometimes looks blurry because this setting is turned off. So moving on to an NVIDIA Reflex low latency, as you can see, it is grayed out. It is because I have disabled the game FPS limit. Usually I wouldn't recommend this, and I think most of you probably watching this video can hit the FPS limit regardless. You're not really worried about it. NVIDIA Reflex low latency, it doesn't have any impact on your visuals or frame rate, but it does reduce the rendering lag. So my recommendation would be to use on. Moving down to the settings on the bottom, the only one I'm going to demonstrate here is the high quality color. As you can see, the difference between off and on is almost 40 frames, and even though it does make the colors higher quality, it is most certainly not worth the dip in the frame rate. So my recommendation would be textures. And with the launcher 1.0, volumetric lighting now has quality options. Before it was just a check mark. To be fair though, the difference between low, medium and high and ultra, I don't really see a massive difference. If anything, it kind of looks worse on higher settings because it makes the lights dimmer a little bit, or the light rays I should say. But the FPS difference between off and low is around 7-8 frames, and then low to high it's like 1 or 2 frames tops. Ultra,
Okay, so we'll leave that off.
which is screen space reflection, obviously handles reflections. The difference between off, low, medium is 10 frames between each setting, up to high as well, and then high and ultra is around 2 to 3 frames. Sometimes it has no impact. It really depends on the area you're in and how many reflections it has to handle. But it also gives you a little bit of an advantage in the visual side of things in darker areas as well. So if you look here, the difference between off and ultra, you can see the surfaces are a little bit brighter, so you can imagine in areas that are very dark, that slight increase in brightness on those textures. Alright, and we have finally made it to the good old post effects. Just before we go into the post effects and I show you my preferred settings, I just quickly want to go over the NVIDIA settings. I'll put them now, so that colorfulness in there as well. Luma sharpen, I put it to 20.
Good.
To get a little bit of extra sharpness. As you can see, I don't know how well it...
Alright, let's see that's any better. Oh, I gotta restart the game. Uh-oh. Perfect. Alright, let's see if that helped with the frame rate at all. We're only in the menu. We're under 20 frames. What are we doing? Wow, really? Oh my god. Look how bad the textures are now. Well, I guess let's just send it and see what happens. This fucking dog. Wait, is this motherfucker online? Oh my god. Phew. Sorry. Any moment. Wait. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, another second. I was going to go off to find a hoodie. Uh-oh. Why is it so blurry in the scope? Oh my god, 24 frames. It's like I'm playing SBT. That's what it was running at with mods. How did they fuck this up so bad? Literally got to drop down a frame rate. Or a frame rate. Literally got to drop down resolution. It's the fucking game will run. That's crazy. I turned everything to performance as far as it goes. That's not good. More frames for me to eat. Yep. Oh, look at that, 45 now that I turned around and stopped looking at the river. I heard a baddie. Oh my god, my dog's jumping around upstairs. It's very loud. The hell? Who the fuck was that guy? Who the hell was that guy? Two of them. Look at this fucking guy. What an idiot. He's not gonna. We're just gonna bet on him not finding me. Ooh, he's getting close though. Got you, buddy. He's on me. Maybe I should invest in a suppressor for that weapon, eh? You can hear the dog, Erica? Yep. He's gigantic and extremely loud. Oh, can I get the lever action? I need a hoodie. It's fucking freezing down here. Hold on. Oh, my hat. My hat. All right, what's with that lever action? Go take a peek here. Oh shit, there it is. Yo, that thing is fucking thick. 45 G's. It's a little pricier than the Gornis stay, but sort of gotta buy the bullets for it. I don't even know what it shoots. Don't even know what it shoots. 784 by 49. What the fuck is that? Oh, 308. Okay. Link search. There it is. Oh, that's not bad. By maybe like... No, fuck it. We'll get them all. Who cares? 19 Gs? It's got a 5-round tube. Got an extended tube for that? Nah, it's okay. Where do I get that? Mechanic level 2, okay. Damn, that's a lot of attachments for that little guy. I'll fucking run that shit. That sounds like fun. Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta go look at Mr. Purport. Put on that. We'll put on that. This, that. Faceware? I'm not putting on the shit though. That. Okay. Need the sunglasses. Oh shit, I didn't bring meds. Well, I got the emergency meds. That's probably enough. I'm excited to use this thing. Let's try stepping down a resolution. Shit's impossible. I still don't really understand mosh pits. There's nothing to understand. You go in and you just swing your limbs around and try not to hurt yourself or others. But it's almost always going to happen. Did you see how much fun they were having, Erica? It ain't for me. Might not be. I don't know. You see how much fun they were having? It can 100% be fun by the looks of it. Definitely. Can confirm from experience, it is fun. I would just get a panic attack. It can be panic inducing, for sure. Especially if you're in a crowd where the entire crowd is rowdy and then you're just forced to just be in a mosh pit 24/7. That's when it gets stressful. Because there's one thing when it's like a controlled pit and like everybody's in there doing the moshing thing. It's another thing when it's an entire crowd and just everybody's pushing and shoving and you're moving back and forth. That's the worst. Yeah, Chuckles, I'm in danger. No, literally. Literally. I'm in danger. Oh, we went down a resolution and we're still only getting 40 frames. Nice. Try 800 by 600. Yeah, I should. Good thinking, good thinking. I really don't even need to be here. You see that guy? No fucking shot. How many times did I shoot them in? Are you serious? God, I'm developing a little headache. I may just lay down in a mirror. I don't know what that means. That's what happens to me too, usually. I don't think he's cheating. Oh, I only hit him once. Those 3 shots, only one of those hit him. Aha. And he hit me once in the head. Nice. I thought I fucking nailed him 3 times. Apparently only hit him once. That's what I get for going there at all. I did not need to be in those dorms. I just spawn in that spot and I go, oop, dorms, and I run. Oh, Mr. Purpur. Need more of my shit, please. I forgot which language that came from. That's good. I don't know what language that's from either. So samesies. Oh shit, I didn't do insurance. I'm at the point where I mainly only insurance my gun and maybe backpack because I have so much shit laying around. I also didn't know you could get the lever action as quickly. I thought it was a level 3 or 4 gun because of the large round it shoots. Yeah, apparently it's level 2 Jaeger. I don't think I had to do a task for it. And then you can't get the rails until level 2 mechanic. Which I don't have yet. Level 2 Jaeger. I know his name's German and I'm probably not saying it right. Don't make fun of me, Erica. I'm doing my best. Oh, I am saying it right? Nice. I basically speak German. That's pretty cool. Yeah, iron sights aren't that bad. No, I agree. They're not too bad at all. I just love misspelling him because I hate him. Yeah, his quests are kind of ass, aren't they? They're pretty bad. Pretty bad. Ass and ugly and stinky, and I bet he is into war or some weird fetish. I don't even know if I want you to explain to me what that is. Also, is this music supposed to sound like it's playing twice at the same time? No. No, it is not. Nope. Thank you, Erica. It's not supposed to do that at all. Is that better? Did that fix it? It did. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me. I fucked with it earlier because I didn't think it was working right, and apparently I fucked it up. So now it's fixed, maybe, perhaps. Alright, here, we'll play the one that we haven't played today.
Eyes keep closing and I can't turn off. Tossing and turning, I can't get up. This is where I say, wake up! Wake up! Don't want to go to sleep because it's in my dream.
I did better that time. I was about to get angry. Oh no, it's gonna happen again. No, stop it. Fight it. Fight it. Fight it. Fight it. Don't go to the dorms. We don't need to be there. Literally spawning directly next to where I have to go for a task, and then running away. So I want to go to the dorms. I'm stuck. Oh, hooray, slideshow. What the fuck? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's very bad. Very, very bad. Oh my god! No! It's starting to feel like EU servers here. I just bought and resold ammo from Jaeger to reach level 2. Thorax left armpit. Nice. Alright, I think it's time for a scav run. Do you have Scaver level 2? Yes, I do. What do you know? Is that like important or good? Let me think. You can get the AK-545. He's got some suppressors. Yeah, here, take a look. Extended mag for the AK. I think that scope kind of sucks personally. Night vision. Let's see what else. The Glock stock. The that handguard, that's not too bad. The AK-545s. Yeah, the Glorker. Yep. Actually, I can do that gunsmith. Magpul MOE handguard, tactical foregrip, ergonomics above 60, recoil sum less than 500. Oh, I think you need the Magpul stock too, don't you? This thing. Ah, that's what I'm missing. So wait, what's that at? That's at 60.7 ergonomics. Recoil is 608. What did you say it had to be at? I think it was way lower than that, wasn't it? Oh my god, less than 500. Holy shit. What does that bring that to? 64.7. What about that one? Oh, that already brought it down to 350 something. Yeah, now we're at 555. Don't you also need the muzzle for this? Yeah, I think you need this thing. What does that do? That brings you way under. Ergonomics are good. That's probably good. What about that? That's 603. All right, so we need this on there. Oh, I bought it. How did I do that? Here you go, Mr. Gunsmith. Doing it the OG way. Yeah, I think that should be good now. Yeah, I don't know if Tarkov thingy is up. I assume that they're not updated yet. What level am I? 15. Think they're up to date to like part 8? Really? Have you used a tanker night vision yet? Yeah, it's terrible. Horrendous. Really, really, really bad. Better than nothing, I guess. I guess? Are you sure? I'm sure. I'm sure. I've yet to try it soon, though. Also switch to my tablet. Want to lay it down. Yeah, go to bed, Erica. It's way too late. Or, you know, do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not your keeper. Yeah, I don't know what's long I'm gonna last. Nice, out of sight. Why is this running so bad? What did they do? Oh my god! Wait! Wait! I have nothing!
I have nothing.
I
I have nothing.
Fuck you, pal! Alright, well, Erica, I think it might be time to go to bed for both of us. That guy was mean. Fuck. Ooh. What do we think about that guy, Erica? Have fun looting nothing worth taking. What do you think about this guy? That survival rate is crazy. I don't know. It's like an 8 KD. It's not like crazy. Is that an 80? No. Only 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. No, if it was an 81 KD, I would have asked. You have a 78% survival rate? That's nuts. Yeah, we'll report him for good measure. Hey, what is my survival rate, actually, before I start getting probably a rat then? Maybe. Perhaps. Per maybe. But the way he talked sounded like your usual cheater. What, being a dick for no reason? Yeah, probably. Even if, and you know what, if he is cheating, I bet you he posts clips on the internet like, bro, check out this sick fucking scav kill I got. Fucking player scav didn't know what he was doing. Fucking loser. All right. Oh, wait. Yeah, let me see. Let me see what mine is. Oh, see, mine's a 6.5, but my survival rate is a 65. So, actually, our statistics weren't that much different, me and that guy. Well, you know. All right. Well, I think it's time to go to bed. I mean, it's only 6:30 here. I'm not going to go to bed, but I am going to go have another drink and sit on my couch and perhaps fall asleep. We'll see. But Erica, thank you for hanging around. Appreciate it. Anybody else who stopped by, thank you very, very much. And, well, probably not you, Erica, but I mean, if you want to stay up late on Monday, I'll be on, but I will be on Monday. So, goodbye. Can you check out me and tell me what you'd think if I killed you? Next time, Erica. I already turned the game off.